Solana or Cardano? What is the best bet to bring you the most amount of return on your investment through the end of 2025? We got some metrics, some data to back it up, and we're going to give our opinion. Which way are we going to swing? Which way will Rob take? Which way will I take? We'll have that conversation. Ethereum continues to absolutely destroy Bitcoin in terms of inflows and why there might be a demand shock coming. A demand shock, not a supply shock, a demand shock. Chainlink was on a big run until the markets dumped. ETH actually gaining today up to 43.72 on the day. Is altcoin season here? And as Bitcoin topped out, this is something Forrest mentioned on Friday, that Bitcoin, it's a good chance it's already topped and now altcoin season is here. If that is in fact true, then which altcoins do you need to make sure you have allocations to make sure you make the most amount of money for this market cycle? And one crypto company looks to go public. Which one isn't? What does it mean? We'll talk about that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola. Very deep voice today.
Very deep.
Hola. Wow. It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content. We take old, boring, stale information, repackage it up in a amazing way. Fun, amazing,
Sexy,
lights, glitter,
beautiful, gorgeous,
and lots of glitter.
You okay?
Yeah.
Do you have some with glitter last night? Did you sleep with a hooker?
Hookers don't wear glitter. Strippers do.
Sorry,
difference.
did you sleep with a... Well, strippers can be hookers.
If they have home base, which is a strip club, then they are not hookers.
You want to know
The
how
hookers are the ones that are
Hold on.
don't have home base. They just roll the streets.
Can you guys take a guess? Okay, you know those Vegas girls that walk around and take pictures in like the dresses? Can you guys guess how much money they make per month? Take a guess. I'm curious what the community thinks. This has nothing to do with crypto.
Don't act like you have
Zero.
actual stats.
I have
on this.
stats.
You have one verbal account of someone's.
Yeah, literally, the person was actually doing it.
Yeah.
I've talked to actually 2 people who do it. The number might shock you.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get one thing out of the way. You guys remember Thursday? We talked about where Solana's price is going to be on Monday. I said 180. Rob said 280. And, well, David was right. Can I get a round of applause or something? Jesus, Gina, you're asleep at the wheel here. Come on, give me my freaking accolades, man. Give me a round of applause. Thank you. Also, the volume's kind of low. Can you pump up the volume? Thank you very much. Okay. It wasn't a Solana thing. It's just the overall crypto market. There's just and you know what? Let's take a look at a Solana chart. And let's take a peek here. Solana 185. This is on the daily. And what I'm looking for is peaks in volume. And we'll go to the 4-hour time frame. So Solana's been just putting in lower highs and lower lows. And in fact, I'm going to do this now, see if we can find any divergence here. No bullish divergence on the 4-hour for Solana, but you can see here continuing to put in lower lows and lower highs, essentially, right? Lower lows, and then you have your lower highs. Tons of bids coming in at that 180 level, though, which is where I kind of said I think Solana's going to bounce. Now, we'll answer the question of, is $185 a value buy for Solana, or are you better off being in Cardano? Okay, so that's the theme of today's show. And I'm going to make a case. I'm not going to make a case. I'm going to provide facts for both. And then Rob and I will have a discussion as far as which one is going to make you more money through the end of the year. Let's first start with Solana. So a couple things of note. This is posted by Solana Floor. Solana hit a new all-time high with a max recorded transaction per second of over 100,000 in a single block, setting the highest throughput ever measured on the network. Okay? So that was a pretty big deal. Solana tokenized asset volume is climbing with Radium with Radium accounting for 90% of all on-chain volume. Now, this is a pick Rob gave you last week, was Radium, okay? Just like Pump.Fun and the meme coins were, 80 to 85% of all Solana transactions. Well, all tokenized asset volume, 90% of it is going through Radium. Users around the world now have 24/7 access to tokenized assets, globally distributed internet capital markets. Okay. We also have this. Solana continues to lead all layer 1 and layer 2 blockchains in network revenue for the 22nd consecutive week. As you can see in the chart here, Rob, Solana with 20.8 million in weekly revenue, followed by Tron, Ethereum, Bitcoin, BNB Base, so on and so forth. One thing to note, Cardano is nowhere on this list. Okay. And the lowest thing on this list is $474. When you look at RWAs, okay, market dominance, total value, this is RWAs as a whole, including private credit, equities, bonds, stocks, all of it, okay? Solana is number 4. Its total value is up 4% over the last 30 days. It's just shy of $500 million with 82 protocols or 82 projects that are tokenized on the Solana chain. So total value is climbing. It's still, again, in that number 4 position. It's about a 50% move away from getting into the 3rd spot, which is currently held by Aptos. Okay. Then when you look at DeFi Llama, TVL-wise, Solana obviously number 2 with a total value locked of $10.42 billion. TVL over the last 1 month is up 7%, although that is one of the lower gainers. In the top 10, you have the likes of Hyperliquid, Arbitrum, and Base in the teens. Ethereum also in the teens, up 12.65% on TVL, and Solana is 7%. I'd say that's not a big move because it is 7% on $10 billion. That's a big amount. But there's your TVL there. And then the last thing I want to share on the Solana side is $150 million was bridged from ETH to Solana last week. And so these are all things to keep in mind, okay? So these are just some metrics, some statistics about Solana and, hey, where is this thing going, okay? So that's the Solana case. Now for Cardano, although Cardano, I don't have as much as far as metrics. I do have a few things. This is from Tap Tools. South Korea is driving a surge for Cardano trading activity. The ADA Korean won pair has flipped Coinbase's ADA USD by nearly 2x, now ranking 3rd worldwide in trading volume. Now, a lot of people look at the XRP pump from around $1.20 to $3.50, and they put that on the Asian markets, right? We had South Korea, which was just smash buying XRP for a solid 2-3 weeks. And we saw a big price movement. Could we see something coming similarly to Cardano with, again, the metric stating that South Korea is scooping up ADO? You have this as well. Posted by Ali Charts. Cardano futures volume hit 7 billion, the highest level in 5 months. And so you're starting to get some bids from Wall Street. I know this is not directly, right? This doesn't directly correlate to the price, or it doesn't have any impact on the price. It would mean a little more, I guess, if there was a spot ETF, but that's one thing to know. We also have Midnight, right? 1 billion Night tokens have been claimed so far, bringing people into the Cardano ecosystem. We have the likes of SNEC that are continuing to gain in value. Now, the case for Cardano, and actually I'm not going to say it, but these are things to keep in mind in Cardano. The one last thing I'll say is Solana ran from $20 to $300, essentially. Cardano hasn't had a big run yet. And so just keep that in mind. Before I throw Rob into this take and get his opinion, I do want to give a big thank you. Today's show is brought to you by Stake.us, the #1 social gaming casino in the entire world. If you're looking to have some fun, play some games, win some free stake cash, and then, well, redeem it for crypto, look no further than Stake.us. Use the link in the description of the video and create an account, and then make sure to claim your daily stake cash bonus. 1 stake cash every day you log in, and then, well, you can just redeem it for crypto and then buy whatever you want. So a big shout out to Stake for being a channel sponsor. Rob, I hope you're paying attention. I laid out a lot. If you had to pick, right, which one of those 2 coins, Solana or Cardano, is going to bring you the best return on investment through the rest of the year?
Carlana.
It's like going to someone's house. They prepare this like 8-course meal, these expensive ingredients.
And then they're like,
and then the guy walks in. He's like, "Oh, what is this?"
Or you got all the food, and then the wife comes in. She's all like, "I can't do any gluten. It really messes up my bowels."
Okay, back to the question:
House-made pasta.
Solana or Cardano?
I have to go with what is trending. The bull market is in effect, right? We're already going through the bull market. We're already, you could argue, halfway through, right?
Where would you say? Are we halfway through?
I don't think we are. I think we're probably 25% of the way through, my personal opinion. But if you were to look historically and look at previous Bitcoin cycles and post-halving, and says that, hey, you know what? November, December, we're supposed to come to an end to the bull market. And if that's the case, then you know what? We're over halfway through. And I don't really subscribe to that idea. I think that it's going to be a prolonged bull market. And I'll actually give you some of my personal insight on why I think that, or at least what I think the charts are going to do. But Solana has the utility, it has the dApps, it has the community. Not to say that Cardano doesn't have those, but we know that if you were to compare 1-to-1, which is you're asking me to do, if I had to pick one or the other, I'm going with who is winning the race currently, because the race is almost over, right? If you were going to put in a sports bet, David, and you're going to put in a sports bet in the third quarter of a football game, would you put in a bet on the underdog if they're down 14 points, 21 points on a money line? You're probably not, right? You're not going to say, hey, I think this team's going to come back. Now, there's plenty of examples of this happening, and there's plenty of examples where, hey, a crypto got an early start in the bull market, and you know what? It got surpassed by someone else. There's plenty of examples. There's plenty of examples of teams coming back in the third and fourth quarter from a large deficit and winning. But I got to put my money where the statistics are. I got to put money where reality is that most of the time, the team going into the third and fourth quarter with the large lead ends up winning the game. And that's how I look at Solana. It has dApps, it has ecosystems, it has the TVL, it has everything you would look for in a layer 1 blockchain. Cardano has the framework, it has the team, they're just behind. That's just how I look at it. If we were in the early stages of the bull market, if we were sitting at a $20,000 Bitcoin, the scenario would be completely different. I would evaluate like, hey, you know what? There's a lot of time to come here. Where are we at on the roadmap? How are things looking? Where's the price right now compared to all-time highs? Those would be things I would be looking at. However, Solana is just crushing it. The crazy part about it is Solana's taking a break right now.
It's been taking a break for how long?
I know, and it's leaps and bounds further along in what you would like in metrics compared to Cardano, and it's taking a break. Imagine when it gets started again. Imagine when everyone's back into using DeFi, everyone's getting on the meme coin trade, when VC money is pouring in and the rate cuts come. And venture capital is like, hey, where are we going to throw our money at? You know where they're going to throw their money at. And so for me, it's a no-brainer. Now, could I be wrong? Could a team come out of nowhere? Absolutely. Solana has run a little heavier than Cardano currently. And so there's a lot more room to run for Cardano. It's like this. If go back to the sports analogy, the team that's down is just going to shoot three-pointers all day. They're not going to go for easy layups. They're going to just try to hit the threes. They're going to try to close the gap quick. And could we see a lot of three-pointers from Cardano? I think so. I think they're going to have some heavy dApps come out. I think they're going to have You know, if some big news comes out with, you know, a stable coin or perhaps some regulatory partnerships with the governments, I think they could easily leapfrog. But right now, I'm just looking at Solana's like they're top dog right now, and I don't see anybody knocking them off yet. Not right now. And the bull market's almost over. So I think Solana taking a break. It's cooled down. It's going to take off again. Once it does, I still believe Solana gets over $1,000 this bull market cycle, which would give it a 5x from where it's at. I don't see Cardano getting past $5. I see Solana getting over 1,000. That's how I evaluate this bull market. Long term, 5 to 10 years, probably have to reevaluate that
You
thesis.
said you don't think Cardano gets to $5?
I don't. I don't think, and I think that it will eventually. I just don't think that within the next year and a half it gets there. And because it doesn't get there in the next year and a half, I do think Solana gets there within the next year and a half. Solana summer is coming up next year, and I think, if that Solana summer next year, if that tells you how long I think this bull market lasts, that about sums it up.
Mr. Biggs said Solana has an off button and has infinite supply.
It's been upgraded. It hasn't had an off button since.
No, it still has the off button.
It hasn't been used. Hasn't been hit.
Correct, because the network hasn't gone.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The network is stable. You know who else has an off button? Bitcoin did.
No.
4 years in Bitcoin. Bitcoin, they mined, someone mined like 20 million or some astronomical number of Bitcoin. Also, Ethereum broke and it got rewound. The original Ethereum chain is ETH Classic. So if you think that because of history says it's had some boo-boos, well, that's just part of the game. You know what? You probably have an iPhone at some point. Apple has had some technical issues, and I'm sure you have a Windows-based operating system somewhere in your workflow, whether it's at work or at home. And well, if you know anything about Windows, my God, if you want to talk about different hiccups and exploits and viruses and all, their track record is so stained. It's like David's underwear. You know, it's just full of.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
I'm just saying that, like, if you come at me with this, well, it was 2 years ago, the network went down for 4 minutes. Oh my God, you cannot buy it. It's absolutely dog crap. Like, get out of here, man. That's a dumbass excuse.
I'm just doing some measuring here. Hold on 1 second. I'm actually going the opposite way. I'm going with Cardano, and it strictly has to do with these two charts here. Okay. Solana, since October of 2023, okay, from trough to peak, 1,400% rally. It's a 15x, huge run, massive, right? $20 to $280, $300, okay? Well deserved. Network activity was surging. It was huge. It was the greatest thing. Cardano, on the other hand, same time frame, from trough to peak, is up 450%. So unless you think Cardano is a dead chain this cycle, Cardano still has 1,000% over on Solana that it needs to do. Now, I'm not saying it's going to. I'm not saying it's a luck. But when you look at, okay, here's a question. Would you rather have money in Bitcoin or money in Solana for the end of 2025?
It's
probably Solana.
Solana, yeah.
Why? Bitcoin's probably closer to a top than Solana is?
I don't know about closer to a top. I think that...
What's more likely, Bitcoin 10x's or Solana 10x's?
It's a smaller market cap.
Okay.
But you just gotta take into account timing. Yeah.
What's a smaller market cap? Cardano or Solana?
Yeah, Cardano.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, but you can make the argument too. It's like, you think that Bitcoin Cash, smaller market cap, is gonna outperform Solana, Cardano? Hey, I'm just saying that, like, you need more than just, hey, it's a smaller market cap.
No. I'm saying my thesis is based on
smaller market cap.
past performance, what we've seen from Cardano and Solana. And Cardano hasn't ran.
I hear you. If we stick to the sports analogy, I mean, if you're going into the fourth quarter and Golden State Warriors are down, 15 points, like they got Steph Curry, he can shoot some threes. Like Cardano's community is rabid. Like they can come in and like the community could 2-4x.
It's a rabid Steph Curry.
Yeah. So I don't have much pushback. I just think that, like, hey, if you want to go with the underdog, you want to take on more risk, go ahead. I agree. There's more upside with Cardano. 100%. I'm just looking at it like the time in the game is running out. So the time for Cardano to outpace Solana is running out as well. That's the way I look at it. Now, I value your opinion, dude. I think you're pretty spot on. And you know what? I'm not like convinced that Solana is going to outpace Cardano. I'm not sitting here like betting the house on it. But if I had to pick one, and that's the theme of today's show, I'm gonna edge out Solana on this one. It's not. I would not be surprised to see Cardano, come up from the ashes. But, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, when you look at metrics, right? Obviously, Solana has Cardano beat metrics, TVL, volume, stablecoin dominance, yada yada. I mean, from that sense, yes.
And so, Mr. Big said, "Do your research. It wasn't 4 hours. Was it 4 hours or 4 minutes? What did I say?
For what?
I said
the downtime.
Yeah,
4 hours.
Yeah. No. Solana's last outage. Since you said do some research, Solana's last outage 4 hours. Boom in your face, Mr. Biggs. Also down 4 hours in June. So the last outage was 4 hours.
Hey, you show some respect to Mr. Biggs.
I'm just saying, man. He said do some research, and so literally the last outage is 4 hours. Like I said, and the longest one was 18 hours. Like, come on, bro.
Here, this is actually better. So you take a look at uptime. Okay. Green means everything's been fine. Okay. You go back, green. December to last year, green. Okay, so February, 4 hours, 46 minutes. So you're wrong. It's more close to the 5 hours. I got you, Mr. Biggs. Don't worry, bro.
And if I said 4 minutes, I meant 4 hours. But either way, even if it, whatever. You know what? I'm just kind of messing with you, Mr. Biggs. I like to engage the community. I appreciate you. I'm not trying to throw shade at you. But I mean, realistically, when something's been up and running for 5-6 years, 4 hours is a blip.
Yeah, but something's been running for 8 years and not a single hour of downtime. Cardano.
Yeah. There's more stability in Cardano. 100%. There's not. If you're going to talk about uptime, you know what? Like, if you had a checklist of things that one does better, it's not a Solana all the way down. It's not. It's not like Solana's a clear winner on every side. There's pros and cons. And you know what? The stability and the uptime, and just, I guess you could point more to decentralization. Cardano wins that all day. But it doesn't win every category. And the categories I think that mean the most is the users using the network through dApps and the stablecoin transactions, the DeFi. It's a winner on Solana, and for me, that one has more weight for me.
So we had a poll up, right? Same question that we just answered, and 72% voted Cardano and 27% voted Solana. I think you'll make money with both, but from a I think gotta go Cardano, man. Gotta go Cardano. Still think you'll make money holding Solana though, so that's very important. Okay, take a look at these numbers, man. Oh, look at the divergence here, buddy boy. Looky, chocolate chip cookie. Bitcoin, 552 million of inflows last week. Ethereum said, hold my beer. $2.8 billion of inflows into Ethereum. That is more than a 5x to that of Bitcoin. Rob, is this we talk about that Gina.
Also, real quick, I'm just loving the chat today. So, FU something. Anyways, they said that 4 hours of downtime, not enough to run a financial system on. However, Europe, well, the SWIFT network has repeatedly went down, which is the largest, the absolute largest financial movement, or the financial monetary network that moves money globally, the one that banks use. They, well, have went down multiple times. And so in 2024, July 18th, it went down for several hours. That was a year ago. There's not a lot of documented ones. A lot of times they go down, and because they're so centralized and controlled, they don't even announce when they're down. You're just like, oh, hey, you know, this one took a little longer than normal. So anyways,
Sounds like you're coping, bro.
no, I'm just saying that, like, if your argument is your financial system can't pause, like, well, you know what, the banks pause, the SWIFT system breaks, every Bank of America stops processing stuff, banks get hacked, and so, like, how is it like, hey, nope, you cannot, like, absolutely you can, historically you can't, like, it's.
But
you know what?
But Robin, if
even Bitcoin.
No,
here's the
you're
thing.
missing the point, though.
Even Bitcoin. Listen to this. Even Bitcoin, when they had the Taproot upgrade, and the miners were processing all these NFTs and the stuff, it took hours and hours, sometimes days, for transactions to get validated because they were stuck in the mempool. So there is no network that is operating 100% efficiently when throttled to death. The ones that you sit here and be like, oh, Caspa's never run a Cardano, like, they haven't been tested. You haven't run the global financial system on it.
Cardano's been tested.
It's been tested with the Doom.
Yeah, but those are actual transactions.
I get it.
It wasn't some bullshit.
But when you start getting transactions from all different places, do I think that Cardano will be able to handle a lot of transactions? Absolutely. I do. Just in the same way I think Solana can. In the same way that Bitcoin can, but it'll get bogged up. The same way Ethereum can if you want to pay the gas fees to play. Like, none of these are broken. None of them, like, you know, start shooting sparks out of the computer and then just shut down. Like, they pause and then they come back. Every time Solana had an outage, the price still held relatively in the same area it was. And so y'all want to harp on this Solana's outage. Oh my God. People didn't sell. So if people didn't sell, the network came back on and transactions kept going.
People didn't sell because they couldn't sell, Robin. The network was down.
when the network came back on, they still didn't sell. What I was saying is that, like, don't drink the Kool-Aid and think that
you drink that Kool-Aid, baby. You throw an extra packet of sugar in there, too.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, man.
Just because others do it doesn't mean that it's okay for you to do it. If there's an option of a network that never goes down or a network that sometimes goes down and they can do the same thing, which one would you go with? You'd go with the one that never goes down.
Don't base your decisions on some small little thing that people make out to be a bigger deal.
Small little thing. So the network going down and no one being able to move in and out of their positions is a small thing. When you talk about a network that's got TVL in the billions, it's a big deal.
This is part of running a business. Not everything works 100% efficiently. It's just
unless your name is Cardano.
If you're working at I don't know, a factory that builds cars, and all of a sudden the factory goes down, it's not like you sell all your shares of the factory.
But the factory wouldn't go down if it was on Cardano. That's my point. The factory is obviously built on Solana.
Well, if Cardano is making, I don't know, the Lincoln Navigators, and you know what? There's not a large market for Lincoln Navigators. Cool. Your network is not going to go down because, hey, there's not a lot of demand for it. And if you're over here pumping out Teslas all day and you're like, hey, which one should I invest in? Lincoln or Tesla? I bet you Tesla's going to outperform Lincoln as far as a company because more people want it, more people are driving them, more people are using it. And if you look at Lincoln and you compare that to Cardano, hey, there's not that many people driving Lincolns. There's not a lot of demand for it. Could that factory pump out 10 times the amount of Lincolns? Sure. Could you go from 200 to 2,000 Lincolns?
Listen, dude, the Lincoln, okay, have you not seen the new Lincoln models? They're about to blow it out the water, man. All they got to do, change the model a little bit, make it sexier, and then market it.
I want to drive a Lincoln, man. It drives smoother than a Cadillac. It's a little bit more trendy. You know what? Lincoln Continental? Absolutely, man.
You know,
riding around in plush style. I'm all about it. It's like a Mercedes that's a little bit more affordable, but you know, American made.
Wow.
So, you know, I'm not crapping on my Lincoln. I'm not crapping on Cardano. I'm just saying, if we're already sitting here going back and forth on Solana or Cardano, and I'm going back and forth with the chat, you know what? Cool. I'm down, man. I'm down with Solana, man.
Listen.
Down with Solana. Who else can I pick on? Who's up in here? Anyone else talking crap?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because they know what's up. Okay. I completely forgot. I was trying to move on, and you brought it back. I was trying to move on to the ETH volume. So, yeah.
You know what? I will say, going back to Cardano, because I know you wanted to get back to that. Cardano's looking really good. And Cardano versus the rest of the altcoins it's
Minus
surprising.
Solana, though, right?
You know, no, hey, right now,
okay.
right now, Cardano's crushing it, bro. I can't throw no shade at Cardano. Like, my Cardano community is probably looking good. You know what? Bitcoin's down. It's at 116. Pretty far off of its, all-time highs, relatively speaking, in a short-term window. And Ethereum is kind of holding steady, but Cardano's up 16% just on the 7-day, and Chainlink is up. But Chainlink was up 50% on the week, so it's had a little pullback. But Cardano is just performing really well. Now, could I see this continuing? Absolutely. Now, I do think that Solana will get its run, and Solana will do well. But I do think in probably the next 2 weeks, Cardano will perform better. I think it crosses $1 in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Can you guess what chart this is, Rob?
Let me guess.
Solana versus Cardano. And so Solana against Cardano is down 62% since November of last year.
But look how much it outpaced it in the beginning.
Correct.
Of the bull market.
That's my point for picking Cardano is look at this run, okay? Solana versus Cardano. Solana gained 1,200% against Cardano.
It's gonna do that again.
I don't think so, man. I really don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's Cardano's turn. We saw the glimmers of a rally. It got up to $1.05. It was running. It was the hottest coin in the top 100, and then the markets tanked. It started running again the other day, 2 days ago, yesterday, and then the markets came down. I think Cardano's about to bust a big one. It's going to be big. It's going to be great. And the Treasury, we'll see where that money gets spent, and we'll see what midnight does. So, yeah. Anyways, the community agrees with me. It's Cardano. Thank you, community. Appreciate you guys.
Sometimes, it's...
No, we don't.
Typical time to bust is after midnight, Hey, I want to show you. I want to show you a Bitcoin chart. This chart is 2020, 2021. What happened in 2020, 2021? We had a double top. And so we saw Bitcoin go from 64,000, pulled all the way back down to 28. That's over a 50% drop. Then, lo and behold, off to the races again. A lot of people were saying, hey,
Gina has transformed into a tomato. Sorry.
People said bull market was over. It was short. It was quick. And you know what? What Forrest was saying is that Bitcoin's top might be in. I think he said 30%, right?
30% is what he said. Yeah.
Now, I agree. I think that was Bitcoin's top in a multi-top kind of scenario. You know, I remember telling someone with conviction last bull market, they said, what do you think is going to happen? I said, you know what? We're going to get a double top. We're going to see an all-time high.
No, didn't you say we're going to get a triple top? I'm not even trying to be funny.
That was last bull market.
No. For this one, you said it was going to get a triple top.
Oh, no. This one, I'm doubling my double top. I'm going quadruple top. 4 tops. So, I think what we're going to see is a prolonged bull market that stretches out well into 2026.
Love stretching.
I think that this is our first. This is our first top.
Love getting top 2.
What's better than top? 4 top. So,
we've gone off the rails. I
think what you're going to see is 120, 124, or whatever. What was our high? 124?
124.
We pull back. I don't know if 115 holds. I don't think, we don't go under 100K. I don't think so. I mean,
112 is a big number.
Is 112
112 is the big number.
Yeah, and I know if you look at kind of Bitcoin this year.
If we break below 112.
Bitcoin this year, it hung out at 107. You know, you could argue 107 is a big number, right? We did go down to 112, and that was...
Bro, you had a beautiful chart up, man, on TradingView. Then you went back to CoinMarketCap. Come on.
Fine. So, let's take a look here. Okay, let's take a look. So,
what is that, Bitcoin on the daily?
Yeah, it's Bitcoin on the daily. And, you know, you look here. And so, you know, what is this? This level is 110. We were down to 106. And so for me, I don't know, dude. I think...
Here, take a look at my chart.
Take a look at the
Gina, pull up my chart real quick.
If you look,
I got levels plotted out. Okay.
Go ahead.
So, if we break below 112, which is your orange line right here,
you got 106 as the next one.
Yeah. Let me see. I want to make this. I can't make it thicker. Are you okay back there, Gina? I think Gina's on one too. I think the whole team here were just huff and puff before the show. Anyways, you look back here. This is on August 2nd, Rob, where we had that massive spill off from 119 down to 112. What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin bounced and rallied 10%. Going back to May of this year, Bitcoin essentially topped out, came back, made a lower high, another lower high, then it exploded. And so if we lose this 110 to 112 region, we're probably going to sub 100K. If we lose that region. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately. I think it'll be a slow bleed down to under 100. And then I think at that point we discuss whether the bull market is over at least for Bitcoin.
I don't even know I honestly don't even know if Bitcoin goes under 115. I know we're right there. I think it's a very interesting support level. I mean, you look, it was solid, man. We didn't even flirt with 114. We were there for 20 minutes under 115. So I don't know if we go under 115. If we do, I agree there's going to be some support levels there, 112, 106. My kind of base case here is that we just don't go under 100K. Now, there could be some global event or something happens. Markets might get spooked, freaked out. Could go under 100K. But I don't see it, right? If I had to do, game of probabilities, it would be less than 10% for me. I think that the uptrend, the bull market, the new all-time highs, the buys that we have from institutions, the potential buys that we got coming in from countries and nation states, the dwindling supply, the OTC supply that we have on exchange is quickly shrinking. And we didn't get that parabolic run yet. We haven't got that giant green candle. And so could we consolidate here at 115? Could we hang around the 110 to 120 range? I think so. I thought we were going to get that breakout, and we just didn't get it, right? You remember last week? I think it was last week. It might have been the week before, but we were talking about Bitcoin's potential breakout, right? And I said to you, David, I said, hey, if it breaks 124, it's going to 130. I said it's not going to get to 127 or 128. I think it's just gonna keep moving. Thing was, it did break all-time highs. It just didn't have the momentum to keep going, right? And I do think that momentum is here. I just don't know when it's going to break out. We need some Fed rate cuts.
Yeah,
it's a ways out though, isn't it? When's the next meeting? It's in like
the 18th of September, a month from now.
A month from now?
Yeah.
I mean,
look,
I know y'all don't want to hear it, but we could consolidate for another month, which could lend very well for altcoins. We're seeing Cardano do really well.
I agree.
And as long as Bitcoin doesn't drop under 100K,
Rob, this consolidation was for 16 weeks.
If Bitcoin stays over 100K, it gives room for the altcoins to catch up, because the Bitcoin dominance was just crushing alts for so long, and now it finally took a breather. And I think that it's time for alts. And if we hold over 115, if we don't go under that 115, even more lucrative for the alts, right? And so the longer we stay above 115 over the next month, let's say a week to 2 weeks out before the Fed rate cut, if we get one, if the CME is dead set that a cut is coming and there's no flip-flop in there, then I say, hey, Bitcoin is back to all-time highs in September. In the meantime, altcoins rally.
Bitcoin dominance is under 60%, which is what you want to see for altcoins. You look at the altcoin market cap, total 2, which includes Ethereum, putting in higher lows, essentially a double top. This looks like it's on the weekly chart here, coming into a potential cup and handle pattern. I was looking to see if there's any little bit of an inverse head and shoulders, but I would probably go with the cup and handle pattern. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You know, I've been wanting to say on the show multiple times that this might be a new Bitcoin cycle where it's 2 weeks of pump and 4 to 6 weeks of kind of chop sideways drawdowns. We're not, maybe we don't get those 2-3Xs in a week kind of moves, right? And so maybe this is the new, no, out of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if you look at, those of you that have our almanac, I mean, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, but we got so far away from it, was seeing money being taken away, seeing inflows just crumble on Bitcoin relative to what we're seeing with ETH. And then when you look at this, right, this was in our magazine, talk about the phase 1 where all of it goes into Bitcoin. And then what is phase 2? It goes into ETH. Majority ETH, maybe some other large caps like Solana. And so I think this is where we are now. Maybe phase 3 and 4, phase 3, 4, and 5 come quicker than normally, but I still think there's a massive altcoin rally to come. And you take a look, not only Ethereum, Rob, Solana saw 176 million of inflows, the second largest altcoin. XRP, 125 million. Sui saw 11 million. Chainlink saw 1.2 million. Pretty negligible, but yeah. Speaking of ETH, the amount of ETH on centralized exchanges has dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. In 9 years, dropping to around, what is this number? 15 million ETH. OTC desks are drying up. We have BitMine that's looking to raise $20 billion to buy Ethereum. We know Ethereum's tokenomics are quite different from Bitcoin's. They can be deflationary if network usage is up. And so, yeah, any thoughts on ETH, Rob? I did put in a short. So I had the ETH short got, our stop loss got triggered. So a couple of things. Big shout out to Weeks, by the way, for being our go-to trading partner for exchanges. And so So this is the one I wanted to show you guys. This one was a 38% run, a 38% gain on Ethereum on an ETH long. I'm doing a 1K to 10K challenge, and so with each position, I'm putting in 10% of my portfolio. So we're at like 1,050. And so we hit a nice one on this one, 38% gain on a 15x long on Ethereum. Now yesterday I did put in a short. I didn't share it because this was just based off of sentiment. It was. I'll do that every once in a while. To kind of test and I did a 68x short. And this one, obviously, it was in the profit like 92%, didn't hit my TP level. And so ETH started to rally. But, ETH is showing a lot more strength than Bitcoin is, in my opinion. We take a look here. On the last 90 days, ETH is up 75.51%, and Bitcoin is up only 10%. I mean, you look at the top 10 here, Rob. I mean, how far do I have to go down to find a bigger gainer over the last 90 days in Ethereum? 75% is a number we're looking for. You got to go all the way down to number 23, which is Uniswap, an Ethereum play. And so ETH has been crushing. You think the local bottom for ETH is in, Rob? I think it touched like 42.50 for Ethereum. Yeah, what are your thoughts on ETH, its movement, and what we're seeing with the inflows?
I'm I got a pretty good outlook on ETH still. I don't think it's slowed down. I think last week I was saying that ETH was likely get over 10K. And for me, I was eyeing in ETH plays. I thought ETH might not be the best play right now as far as just the ETH token, but I think that the ETH ecosystem is the way to go. If you're trying to make money, especially in a shorter time window, like if you're looking to generate some returns by the end of the year, you're trying to get some juicy Christmas presents for the fam, I would just start layering in different ETH projects. I know you've listed some of your favorites. I listed some of my favorites. I think Radium is a no-brainer for
Radium Solana, though.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. No, I was thinking about my picks last one.
You said Curve, you said Uniswap, you said Arbitrum.
Arbitrum, and then what was my other ETH play I gave? Arbitrum Arbitrum for me is juicy, bro.
I mean, it's been on a run.
Yeah. Where's Arbitrum at on the market cap list?
I think it's in the 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
Number 40.
It's up 13% as well. And so you look on the 1 week here. I mean, it started last week at 44 cents, currently over 50. We did see it up to 57 cents last week at one point. You look at where it's at on the year. This is, airdrop, so not a lot of chart to go on. But I mean, this is, I think you're in a good value zone here, right? I mean, the bottom essentially was 30 cents, right? There's a couple moments it was under 30 cents, but essentially the bottom was 30 cents. And so to pick it up at 50 cents for something that at its lowest was 30, I'm pretty bullish on Arbitrum, man. I think that ETH scaling solutions still make a lot of sense. ETH scalability is not there. If you see a $10,000 Ethereum, probably means a lot of transactions and higher gas fees. And I think that the remedy to that is obvious, and it's Arbitrum. Could throw Optimism in there too, but I think Arbitrum wins out the race between the two for me. If you had to pick one, Arbitrum or Optimism, which one are you going with?
Honestly, dude, Arbitrum.
Yeah. And so that's the way I look at it. What is the
I wouldn't
best?
phase Optimism in the super chain though. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I think like what is if I had to pick one, what is the number one scaling solution? Like let's just say ETH transactions $400 per transaction yet again, right? We saw it in 2020, 2021. ETH transactions got to $300, $400, $500, sometimes $800 per transaction. Sending just stable coins from one address to another, $30, $50, $60. Obviously, not something that's practical. So scaling solution has to be an option. Is there any other scaling solution you would go with?
Arbitrum, Optimism.
I'm saying if you had to pick one.
Arbitrum.
Yeah. And so I think you get high gas fees, $10,000 Ethereum, transactions, throttled. There you go.
So, man, Bitcoin is slow. Waiting on a payment 21 minutes ago. It was submitted, and it'll be ready in 20 minutes to settle. Yeah, it's an hour.
Doing transactions mid-show, huh?
You can speed it up for $90 and expect it within 12 minutes for $90. So tell me, Bitcoin's money, right? We're just moving money in Bitcoin. Pretty crazy. Yeah. Okay. What do we want to talk about? Let's talk about this. From Santiment, crypto's top RWA by development. Directional indicators represent each project's ranking rise or fall since last month. Chainlink still number one, followed by Avalanche, XLM, IOTA, Axelar. Axelar's an interesting one. Don't sleep on Axelar. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Chia, no idea. VeChain, definitely an idea. Injective, Hedera, and Centrifuge. RWAs, Rob, fairly bullish. Surprised not to see Solana on here. Surprised not to see XRPL on here. Any thoughts on this?
Where's Ondo at?
Yeah, there's no Ondo.
You know something here is that RWA is going to be a winner this bull market. It's already performing well. And so list one, I mean, everything in that list are all winners, right? There's a couple I'm not familiar with, but essentially everything in there is winners, right?
What the fuck is Chia Network?
I don't know.
Well, they got 100,000
So it's basically anything that's going all in on RWAs and there's metrics behind it, like there's people that are actually tokenizing on there, are some of my favorite projects. I think Chainlink, Avalanche, Stellar, Ondo. I know Ondo wasn't on the list, but still, those are all great plays, dude. Who has pumped the price of Bitcoin from 40,000 to 120? Who was it? Institutions. What are institutions interested in?
Money.
Yeah, they're interested in using crypto, right? Or the ones that are interested in crypto.
They're interested in money.
Yeah, and there's a lot of money to be saved in tokenizing RWAs on crypto.
Also, there's a lot of money to be made.
There's a lot of money.
Tokenized assets can be traded.
Yeah, but imagine if you're a company and you're like, hey, we're spending $50 million a quarter on the infrastructure for whatever asset we have. We could save 90% of that by using blockchain as a technology versus the other. Institutions are going to wake up to that one day. They're going to be like, hey, you know what? Let's not, even governments are doing that, right? California's like, hey, you know what? Keeping all these vehicle registrations on some database and then paying this server to do this, like it costs a lot of money. You know what? Income Avalanche. You know what? It's a lot cheaper. We save millions of dollars every year putting those damn registrations on blockchain. So it's just one example. There's just going to be so many of those. As companies, just some representative from somewhere is going to come in and be like, hey, or somebody at the boardroom table is going to be like, I know how, did they miss profits or something? And I'm like, I know how we can save 10% of this cost. And they're going to be like, okay, what is it? Crypto.
Blockchain. That's all I got.
That's it.
Big thank you to Camps for sponsoring today's show. If you want to learn how they can help your business scale and grow and maximize your networking, IT, and cybersecurity, visit bluewiretech.com. That's all I got. Rob, anything else?
That's it.
He's got nothing. I got a finger, and I'm going to spin it. Gina's going to hit the outro. And then I'm going to ttell you, have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Come back tomorrow. Until next time, peace.
Cash is cool, yeah. Sin City, crypto. Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado